Good morning, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns podcast, and today is Tuesday, November the 12th. I was just watching Granny Crafter Crochet Edna. She had received her first blanket for the memorial home from Beth's Yarn Tales, and she made a comment about God works in mysterious ways. Yes, Edna, He does work in mysterious ways. And that is one of the best things about our community. Many of us, I think, have found we have a lot of people that are not what we call crochet worthy. But then again, we all have something that touches our hearts, and just reaching out to others and bringing comfort to others is something that I think a lot of us have in common. And it just gives us a lot of joy to do that. So it's a great honor to be able to help you, Edna, with this project. I do have 2 blankets ready. And you know what, Edna? I'm going to throw in a third. I know I only committed to 2, but I did find some more yarn, and I saw a stitch pattern that I think I'd like to try with that yarn. So I think I'm going to do another third one. Because I did tell you I would send them towards the end of the month. I think I can get this other one done over the next week or so. So I'm going to send you 3 this time instead of 2, like I said. Some of the things that I have finished is the Stash Buster Unraveled Mitten. And this was the double V stitch. I think that's what she called it, double V stitch. And it was a nice enough pattern. It's kind of nice to do. It's an interesting stitch. I'd never done it quite that way, but it was interesting to do. The other thing that I did get is I got a knocker finished with the prosthesis program with Prayer Shawl Ministry. We are revamping our brochure and changing up the patterns. We have used one of the old patterns where the stuffing went into the side. This one is the one that goes into the back of the knocker, and it's a much nicer pattern, a little bit easier to work. So we're revamping that. And yeah, it's kind of where we're at with that. So you might see a little more of that coming to fruition. I did get my side-to-side sweater done, and I do really like it. I do have a tank top underneath it, just because I wasn't sure if it was see-through or not, and I just didn't want to chance it. Plus, I did keep it short sleeves, so I thought I would just wear it this way. I basically did it for summer and spring, but it's nice and warm. This was done with the Cotton Flare cotton, and it took quite a while because it's it's a thread. I would say it's about a size maybe 3, of cotton thread. It's a cotton polyester blend, and so it's a little thinner, so it took a little longer to work on. But I love the way the pattern did. Instead of sewing the seams, I actually just slip stitched the seams to the top and to the sides. And like I said, Jeannie does a great recipe for her sweaters and tops and things, so it was just, really easy and quick, and now it's done. I think there are a lot of activities that a lot of the other groups have been talking about doing. I was looking at my Jada and Stitches blanket. I don't know if I want to do anything else other than put a border on it. I'm not real interested in putting pumpkins and sunflowers on it, so I think it's pretty much finished with the exception of putting border on it when that time comes. So that one is pretty much just going to be left alone until it's time to do the borders for it, I believe, unless there's something else that Jada comes up with that I think, oh, that'll look cute on the blanket. It was a lot of fun doing it, but it's also a lot of work, keeping up with it because it's such a long project over a long time, and then having to sew everything onto it, putting the appliques on, and I just kind of found it a little more tedious than working on a regular afghan. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe it's because it was, so much time in between each thing. And so I'm kind of looking at that way, putting it off, those kind of things. The Llama Mama Kayla's Loom Knit Blanket Mystery Along. I am so far behind. I need to start sewing circles together. I need to do row 5 and row 6, so I think I will concentrate on doing some of that, as well as some of the whip projects that I have over here on the side of the chair that I have nicknamed Chairzilla. This side of the chair over here is another Chairzilla. Mostly it is yarn waiting to be used. So, yeah. I was watching Ross of Smells Great Guy. Why can I not think of the name of his channel? Ross. Anyway, he was talking about the thing with Hobium. He doesn't think that Hobium is actually going out of business. Now, I do think that they are going out of business as in selling to the public. When I was looking around the site, like he said, I know there are other yarns that are sold in other places that you can get, and I do know they sell wholesale. So I'm wondering if they're just going to start marketing it more on the wholesale end and just quit their retail part, which, you can totally understand. They've gotten the yarn out there. A lot of people are using it. And, right now, till the 13th, they've got that 40% off sale. I wasn't going to buy, but I'm weak. I bought. So there will be an unboxing coming up later on this week of some of the yarns that I chose. I'm so weak, people. I don't need any more yarn. I just need to start using the yarn that I have. But I'm weak. I love yarn. And I see a new yarn and I think, oh, I must have it. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at this year. I'm really looking at things for the coming up year as to, do I really want to get into doing a yarn band? Because I know yarn bands don't work for me. Yarn diets don't work for me. So how am I going to handle that with the yarn? I do have some ideas of what I'm going to do with that, but those will be coming up in future episodes. So stay tuned. I may do a, I think it's Debbie of Canadian Crocheter was talking about a de-stash giveaway. Who knows? You never know. Crazy things have happened. So that is it for that portion of our podcast today. And of course, now you know what's coming up, what in tarnation. This next story I thought was kind of interesting. Alaska University taking peanut butter and jelly as payment for parking tickets. What a lip-smacking offer. This is in Anchorage, Alaska. Anyone with unpaid parking fines at the University of Alaska Anchorage campus has the option to reduce or cover the cost of their tickets with peanut butter and jelly. KTUU-TV reported the university will take donations for their annual payment tradition until November the 8th. Oh, well, it's over. To help combat student hunger. Officials say the food goes to students in need. University officials say each person could use peanut butter and jelly payments for 2 citations issued within the past 45 days. Officials say 2 16-ounce jars offer a $10 credit, 3 jars offer $35, and 5 jars offer a $60 credit. Officials say unopened commercially produced nut butter, almond, cashew, peanut butter, or any flavored jam, jelly, marmalade, or preserves would be accepted. I'm going to add to this. A lot of students on campuses are actually going hungry. They find that they don't have enough money to purchase food to get them through, so they will really, in a sense, go into a starvation mode. So, our local university started what they call the Haven Cupboard, which people can bring in items to donate for students so that they can come in, no questions asked, get food as needed, so they're not going hungry. And I think that's a great idea. So for some of you, you may want to look into your different universities and see if they have an option like that to help students. Some of these students are just working students who are going to school, working to pay for their college, and just, can't make ends meet. College is expensive, so, whatever we can do to help. Now, this next man, I would imagine he was a little surprised when he got his sweet tea. South Carolina man, McDonald's sweet tea came with weed inside. A South Carolina man who went to McDonald's for sweet tea says he received a little extra substance on the side. The Island Packet reports Parrish Brown went to a McDonald's on Hilton Head Island and asked for a sweet tea with light ice and extra lemon. Brown now believes extra lemon was code for marijuana since he found 3 bags of weed in his cup. He says he only realized it once he was high as a kite. Brown says he never had marijuana, so he didn't recognize the taste. He says he paid regular price for the items. Beaufort County Sheriff's Office spokesman Major Bob Bromwich says an investigation is ongoing. He didn't specify which McDonald's Brown had gone to. A representative for McDonald's said the company is fully cooperating with law enforcement on the validity of this claim. That's a rude awakening, right? Now, this next story, I did not talk about this Wizard Rock in Arizona, but apparently it disappeared and it has now returned. Wizard Rock that disappeared from Arizona forest returns. A boulder, not a rock, a boulder that mysteriously disappeared 2 weeks ago from a national forest in Arizona is back, and forest officials aren't asking any questions. Prescott National Forest officials said a forest employee on patrol Friday noticed that the 1-ton boulder dubbed Wizard Rock had been returned to a site along State Route 89 south of Prescott. The much-admired boulder is black with streaks of white quartz running through it. 1 ton. So that's not like somebody put it in their pocket. Now, you know, any story involving Bigfoot is going to catch my eye. Police in Florida are seeking information on the disappearance of an unusual piece of property, a 300-pound Bigfoot statue. The Boynton Beach Police Department said the 8-foot-tall Sasquatch statue was stolen from in front of a store called Mattress Monsters in October. Bigfoot is missing, the department tweeted. Police are asking anyone with information on the missing statue to contact detectives. Maybe Bigfoot needed a snack. Who knows? This next one, you can see the video on Reddit, or you can go to, I think it's abc7.com, or just put in the words "high winds cause water flow to flow backward," so you can see the video, because it's kind of interesting. A visitor to Ireland's Cliffs of Moher captured video of high winds causing a waterfall's water to flow backward. Gary McNabb said he was hiking with friends on the Doolin side of the cliffs when he saw the waterfall spraying backward onto the cliffs. He captured a video of the phenomenon and posted it to Reddit. He said the water was being blown by high winds. Those had to have been some pretty high winds, because if you've ever seen waterfalls, the power of the water rushing over a waterfall, you can almost feel the vibration when you're standing next to a waterfall like that. So that had to be some pretty high winds to get that. Okay, folks, that's it for today. I will see you again soon. And remember, choose kindness.